Hey guys, Mad Theories here. Now, this theory that I bring to you was from one of my subscribers that I hope. Basically, he was just saying to me, it was like, what would have happened if Itachi would have told Sasuke about everything with the whole massacre and stuff and still stayed in the village and told him about everything. Now, I'm gonna expand on that. Now, alright, basically, Sasuke looks up to Itachi. He looks up to him. He wanted to be like him in some sort of way, like he wanted to be like Itachi. But there was a couple of things that Sasuke didn't know about Itachi. Like he didn't know he was dying off of this disease. He had like a lot of stuff going on in his life because it's like, as a Uchiha, he had to become. He still stood by the village, but deep down inside, he was always a Uchiha first. He will always protect. Like in his mind, he always felt like he had to protect the family and his brother. That was his main goal. If anything would have popped off, he had to make sure at least they was safe, or at least his brother would still be safe and be alive. But if the whole Uchiha slaughtering and the whole massacre would have happened, and he would have told Sasuke about it, Sasuke, yes, he would have been pissed off, and I would have said that after when like Sasuke would have came in and he would have seen the whole slaughtering of what he did to his mother and his father and whatnot, and the whole I wouldn't even say like he was chasing him with the shuriken, was throwing it at him, because I believe that would have been a little bit too much for him. I mean, even though it did awaken his Sharingan and whatnot, but I felt that would have been too much for him. So I think after when he would have slaughtered them, he would have put Sasuke like maybe to sleep on this genjutsu and whatnot, and then would have told Sasuke like man to man, like listen, like he would have told him everything. But as he would have gotten much older, like when he was 13, 12, 13, I can't quite remember the age, 13, 14, and he basically told him, well, he didn't really tell him anything. It was just that Sasuke went to go kill him, but this was like before everything that happened. He didn't really tell him anything. But in this theory, he would have told him basically like, I killed Plum, this and that, and it was because of Danzo. Danzo was basically the true enemy. That's like, he was secretive, ruining people's lives. Danzo was Danzo. He was just that one dude in the back. He was like the Illuminati of the Naruto, because it's like you had the Ambu Black Ops. They did dirty secret ops and whatnot. They did all that crazy stuff. So I pretty much would say that he would have told Sasuke. He would have told Sasuke everything. He would have told him that Danzo did this, Danzo did that. I mean, Sasuke probably would have been like, well, if this is true, and he's somewhat kind of like egged this on and probably tried to like start up something, he'd be like, oh, why come we couldn't do this? Then he was like, oh, if we did this and that to him, it would have caused a war with the entire village. The Hokages, everybody would have been after him and stuff. So he would have broke it down to the best of his ability, and would have been like, no, but we have to do this. We have to protect the village. We have to do this and this and that, because it's like, he would have tried to ease it on the way where Sasuke would try to understand. Sasuke still would have been somewhat enraged, but he would have tried to like, cope with everything. I feel that Sasuke would have been like, I can somewhat understand, because he would have tried to get his brother to explain, and try to explain it to him the best way that he can. Like, obviously Itachi would have been arrested. He would have been in the village, but he would have been arrested, maybe executed, but no, Danzo would have held him in there. He would have been in the prison and whatnot, and that would have been it. But before he even would have been in that prison, like, Itachi would have told him like, listen, don't trust Obito, don't trust, if you hear about a man named Toby, don't trust him and stuff, because like, he was the one that helped me slaughter the entire village, and he despised it, each and every single one of them, and he's more darker than me. Like, I did this because I had a reason. I had to kill everybody to stop a coup. He did it because he wanted to and whatnot. And then Sasuke would have telling him the truth still would have broke him. It's because it's like you see him kill his mother and his father, it would have still kind of broke him, and he would have been like, Jesus, man, like he would have been he would have been more emo, as if we would, as when we seen him in the show, and people were saying like, oh yeah, Sasuke is coming with somewhat emo, he's not really talking. He would have been a little bit more to it and stuff. Like Sasuke would have been this broken, lonely dude. Like we wouldn't have seen him as strong as he was when he was a kid and whatnot, because as a kid he only thought of revenge. He only thought of revenge and what he wanted to do to Itachi the next time that he would have seen him. Like, all of his training and his preparation was to kill Itachi, but in this case, he would have been like this broken and lonely dude that not only that his brother is in jail, but his brother is like, dying off of this sickness, but it's slow. It's not rapid. It's like this slow paced disease. So it's like he would have been there all the way into the Shippuden arc. Like only time they would have released Itachi was the war. That would have been the only time they would have released Itachi from his prison was the war, because the war was getting a little crazy. It was getting a little crazy, but he would have been in prison. He would have been in prison like the rest of his time. Like Sasuke would have been thinking about, probably wanting to bust him out and stuff, because he would have been thinking about a lot of what happened. It's like, he couldn't really do anything. He couldn't really become stronger and whatnot. And I still probably would have felt that the whole Orochimaru segment probably would have happened, because it's like he couldn't really do it. Like he would have tried, but then maybe Naruto or Kakashi probably would have stopped him, because Kakashi would have been like, listen, if you do this, if you try to break your brother out because of what happened, then he would have had to stop him, or he would have told him that there would be more consequences and more trouble. Then he would be like, oh, you don't understand and whatnot, you was never Uchiha, blah blah blah, you have a Uchiha, but you don't really understand and stuff. He probably would have told him the same thing as when he told him when he was tied up to the tree and stuff, and he would have been telling him all that stuff, and Kakashi wouldn't have understood, but deep down he kinda somewhat would have understood because of the whole Ren situation. So he kinda would have understood. But that would have been it. But I felt that the whole Orochimaru thing may or may have not he would have probably wanted to become stronger. That would have been the thing. He probably would have wanted to become stronger. But then Itachi would have known what Orochimaru's intentions was. Probably would have tried to break out. Probably tried to breaking out and stuff. But, Danzo would have held him down. Like, that's the problem. Like, Danzo would have been, like, keeping guardsmen, like, on this man, like, 24/7. Like, he is not getting out. He is not getting out and stuff. And two, he probably would have maybe had faith in Sasuke's friend like Naruto, because I'm pretty sure Naruto would have never seen Itachi. That's the thing. He would have seen Itachi actually no. He would have seen Itachi in the Pain arc. Yeah, freak the war. He would have seen Itachi in the Pain arc, because that's when Pain was looking for Naruto. So he would have showed up. And they would have been freaking out and scared, like, okay, what to do. And they would have been like, they can't really rely on, they couldn't really rely on, actually, no. Sasuke would have been there, too. Because, yeah, Sasuke still would have been in the village. He would have got stronger, killed the Orochimaru. Like, everything probably would have happened, but it would have been different, because he would have done all of this just to get a little bit stronger, just to break out Itachi from prison. Because it's like Kakashi would have taught him somewhat as best of his ability as he could, but he would have learned more. Got captured, learned more. He would have been like, I'm doing this to get stronger, to bust my brother out of jail, because he can't really fight everybody in the village, because they would all kill him. He would be slaughtered. So he probably would have tried to get even more stronger from Orochimaru, because Orochimaru is the outside man. So it would make sense for him to get stronger from him. Then he would have tried to break out his brother if he could have, but I would have said he would have waited a little bit longer. But then when the Pain arc would have showed up, and they would have been looking for Naruto, I would have strongly said that Pain would have killed he probably would have killed Sasuke. Even though Sasuke was strong and crazy, but I don't know. I think Pain probably would have killed Sasuke. Probably. And then they would have probably would have caused them to break out Itachi, or Itachi would have maybe known or heard about it, and he would have broke out of jail himself. Because let's be clear here, Itachi is one gifted dude. He could have, if they would have put him in jail. That's the thing. In this theory, he allowed himself to go to jail. I'm not like I'm sorry to like if I confuse a little bit people, but he would have allowed himself to go to jail. He could break out any time that he want because Itachi is the man. He could have broke out any time he wanted, but he allowed himself to go to jail because of the crime that he committed and whatnot, and it was too heavy on his heart. He would allow himself to go to jail after telling Sasuke everything that he knew and like, don't trust this dude, don't trust that, and you know he's planning something big, don't trust him, he evil and stuff like that. So it would have put Sasuke on that alert. So if he would have heard of a guy named Toby, Obito, this and that, he would have been on an alert. So as soon as he see like, yo, this is guy in his mask and whatnot, and you see him doing some weird ocular jutsus, and don't trust him, he evil and stuff. So he would have taken that into heart and been like, all right, I'm not gonna do this and that and whatnot. I mean, he still would have been pissed at Itachi, but he would have been more alert because his brother is telling him that there's a guy that's a little bit more dangerous and stuff. But you know, back to the topic at hand, you know, Sasuke probably would have been laying there maybe half dead or almost dead. Then Itachi would have showed up. And probably would have taken. I think he would have probably done well against the Pains. I strongly felt like he would have done probably well against the Pains. And then Naruto probably would have shown up. And at that moment, you know, that's when you probably would have been seeing like Itachi like coughing up blood. You know, starting to get a little, because they would have drained him. Like how when you see Sasuke versus Itachi, and even though Itachi let Sasuke win, but seeing all of that made him drain. He was just physically drained and stuff. So it probably would have been just something like that. Like they would have fought him to like a standstill. He would have been probably like physically drained, and then that's when Naruto would have showed up, helped out Itachi for like a bit. That's when Sasuke probably would have taken him off the battlefield, and then Naruto would have handled it. The rest from there, and I think at that point Naruto wouldn't have the need to go six tails because Itachi did well. He fucked them. He did well. So I probably would have said like he would have taken them down. Naruto would have did his thing, and that probably would have been the end of that. And two, probably that's when Itachi, I probably would have said like towards the ending, like towards the war, Itachi would have died, because that's when the disease would have caught up with him. Like he wouldn't have died in the pain arc, he would have died in the war arc, because Madara would have killed him. Like they would have been fighting really good, like maybe shurikens, jutsus, and everything. It's like Madara would have killed Itachi, or the disease would have, like one of the two would have happened, but Madara would have killed Itachi and whatnot, and then that's when Madara would have done the same thing and killed Sasuke. But then Sasuke thought he would have went on to go with his brother, but then would have been met by Hagoromo. That's how that would have been. That's how that would have been, like. But yeah. If you like what you heard what you like, please subscribe, share, all that wonders.